Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pressures of modern life? Social media constantly updating, endless work deadlines, expectations from those around you, and even the smallest daily tasks seem to leave you no room to breathe. If you've ever wished you could let go a little, care less about everything, and feel lighter, then you're in the right place. Thousands of years ago, Stoic philosophers lived in the turbulent world of ancient Rome. Yet the principles they laid down remain just as relevant in our digital age. Stoicism isn't merely a philosophy of austerity, it's the art of mastering the mind, learning to let go of what doesn't matter, and focusing on what truly does. Imagine no longer being controlled by trivial matters, unpleasant words, or invisible expectations around you. You remain calm, focused on the present, and centered on what truly matters. This is the Stoic mindset we're about to explore together. In today's video, we'll explore 7 Stoic principles that will help you care less about what doesn't matter and master the art of letting go. These principles not only reduce stress, but also strengthen emotional intelligence, elevate your sense of dignity, and lay the foundation for inner peace. You'll come to realize that learning not to let things beyond your control dominate your mind is the key to living a lighter, more fulfilled life. The first principle is to control what you can and let go of what you can't. Worry and stress often don't come from external circumstances, but from how we perceive and interpret them. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that pain doesn't come from outside events, but from our reaction to them. This realization places the power back in our hands, reminding us that we alone decide how we experience our emotions. This principle teaches that the mind should focus only on what is truly within our control: our thoughts, emotions, and actions. External factors, such as others' words, behaviors, or unexpected circumstances, lie beyond our control, and therefore should not drain our energy or become sources of negativity. Making this distinction helps us conserve mental strength, reduce stress, and remain calm in any situation. When this perspective is applied consciously, we gradually build lasting inner strength. Stoicism emphasizes that unexpected events, from small inconveniences to major challenges, cannot alter our inner value or character. Instead of being shaken by them, keeping the mind inwardly focused and centered on what can be controlled strengthens self-mastery, emotional intelligence, and calmness in everyday life. The deeper meaning of this principle lies in how it shapes our perception of every experience. Each challenge or unexpected event is no longer something to fear or resent, but an opportunity to train our attitude, maintain inner peace, and strengthen our character. Realizing that true power lies in our ability to control our thoughts and reactions, we learn to live proactively, wisely, and with lasting resilience. Worry and stress often don't come from real circumstances, but from how we perceive and interpret them. Marcus Aurelius once emphasized that pain doesn't come from external events, but from our reaction to them. When we understand that true strength lies in our ability to control our own responses, we realize that factors beyond our reach, such as others' words or behavior, cannot determine our happiness or dignity. Stoicism encourages us to see every event as a challenge to strengthen our inner resilience, rather than as a threat to our peace of mind. The ability to focus on what we can control also cultivates a proactive mindset. When every difficulty, obstacle, or failure is seen as an opportunity to adjust our thoughts and actions, we build a solid foundation for self-mastery, inner peace, and lasting dignity. This is what distinguishes a person who is easily shaken from one who remains balanced and wise in any circumstance. Thus, this principle is not just a philosophical idea, but a guiding compass for living calmly, free from the influence of things beyond our control, and focused on what truly matters. The power to shape your experience has always been in your hands, and recognizing this is the first step toward living with self-mastery and inner peace. The second principle is, live fully in the present moment. Amid the fast pace and constant pressures of modern life, we often lose ourselves, trapped in the past that's gone, or worrying about a future that hasn't yet arrived. Stoicism reminds us that true happiness and peace can only arise from the ability to live fully in each present moment. Marcus Aurelius once warned not to let the future disturb your mind, for the present is where we truly live, the only place where we can experience and feel life completely. The The Stoic view of the present isn't just about paying attention to what's happening, but about deeply connecting with every sense and awareness of the details around us. The sounds, colors, scents, sensations on the skin, and the emotions within all enrich our experience of life. When we are truly present in this moment, we realize that happiness doesn't come from distant goals or an undefined future. It arises from full awareness and appreciation of the reality unfolding right now. This principle also helps us realize that much of our distress comes from clinging to the past or worrying about the future. When we understand that time truly exists only in the present moment, we can direct our energy toward what genuinely matters. Appreciating each passing second cultivates gratitude and serenity, while also strengthening emotional intelligence, self-control, and inner balance. In addition, living in the present helps reduce anxiety and stress. When we are no longer haunted by what is past or what is yet to come, the mind becomes clearer, allowing us to recognize life's true values and make wiser decisions. Stoicism emphasizes that appreciating the present moment is the foundation for living proactively, free from the control of external circumstances, and for maintaining both happiness and inner calm. In modern life, we often get caught up in the past that's gone, in the future that hasn't arrived, causing us to miss the value of the present moment. Every moment holds an opportunity to experience and gain deeper awareness of ourselves and the world around us. When we focus on the present, we learn to engage all our senses, the sounds, colors, scents, and even our inner emotions, and realize that true happiness comes from being fully present and attentive in the here and now. Living fully in the moment also helps reduce attachment to the past and anxiety about the future, enhancing clarity and self-control. When we appreciate what is happening right now, every experience, no matter how small, becomes valuable, helping us cultivate emotional intelligence, nurture inner peace, and develop character in alignment with Stoic principles. Ultimately, living fully in the present moment is a way to cultivate Stoic character and inner strength. When we are truly present, we learn to let go of attachment, deepen our capacity for experience, and foster personal growth. This principle builds a solid foundation for self-mastery, lasting happiness, and profound emotional intelligence, allowing us to move through life with peace, clarity, and wholeness. The third principle is to accept change and the natural flow. Life never stands still. Everything is constantly shifting from one moment to the next. Stoicism reminds us that change is a natural law everyone must face. Instead of seeing disruptions, whether it's a change in career, relationships, or even small unexpected events in daily life, as obstacles, we can recognize them as an essential part of life's flow. Embracing them is the key to maintaining inner peace and resilience. Seeing change as a natural part of life opens the door to inner freedom. Epictetus once emphasized that it's not events themselves that determine our emotions, but how we respond to them that creates either suffering or happiness. When we understand that every circumstance follows the laws of nature, we learn not to resist reality. From there, we cultivate calmness, patience, and the ability to adapt to any situation. Acceptance not only brings calmness, but also transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. Every change, every adversity carries a valuable lesson that helps develop emotional intelligence, strengthen inner resilience, and enhance adaptability. When we approach difficulties with a constructive mindset, we learn to see the bigger picture, assess situations objectively, and cultivate flexibility in how we navigate life. Moreover, accepting the natural flow of life nurtures optimism and clarity. Instead of reacting with frustration or complaint, we begin to see that every event carries its own meaning and contributes to shaping our character. Stoicism teaches that only when we align ourselves with the flow of life can our mind truly become steady and our inner peace endure. Life never stands still. Everything is constantly changing from moment to moment, and Stoicism reminds us that change is a natural law everyone must face. Every turning point, whether big or small, helps shape who we are. When we see change as an essential part of our life's journey, we learn not to resist reality. From there, we cultivate calmness, patience, and the ability to adapt to any situation. Change is no longer something to fear, but an opportunity to grow in character and wisdom. Constant change also helps us recognize the value of every experience. Instead of feeling resentment or frustration over what doesn't go our way, Stoicism encourages us to focus on how each event helps us grow. With this awareness, every challenge becomes part of a lesson, nurturing flexibility, emotional intelligence, and inner strength in all circumstances. The fourth principle, self-respect without dependence on approval. In modern life, people easily lose their sense of self-worth when they care too much about others' opinions, praise, or recognition. Stoicism reminds us that worry, frustration, and insecurity often come from relying on external feedback instead of finding value within ourselves. Understanding this helps us become less influenced by outside factors and maintain an inner sense of self-respect. This principle encourages us to seek validation from within rather than from others. Epictetus once emphasized that people are troubled not by things themselves, but by the way they perceive and judge them. When we let go of the need for external approval, we build self-control, strengthen our mental resilience, and become less emotionally affected by criticism or negative opinions. Living by this principle also helps shape an attitude grounded in personal values and actions. When inner self-respect is nurtured, every decision and behavior is guided by reason and virtue rather than the desire for praise or recognition from society. This cultivates the ability to live proactively, calmly, and steadfastly according to one's core values, regardless of circumstances or external pressure. The principle of inner self-respect also serves as a foundation for facing social pressure, competition, or unrealistic expectations. When we no longer let external judgments control us, we can focus our energy on developing character, cultivating emotional intelligence, and maintaining inner peace. Stoicism emphasizes that only by mastering our inner world can we truly be steady, confident, and balanced in every situation. Applying this principle helps us realize that true peace and self-worth do not depend on others but on the way we live, act, and uphold our values. When inner self-respect becomes our foundation, external influences lose their power, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with calmness, clarity, and determination. In doing so, we learn to preserve our inner values, develop emotional intelligence, and cultivate stoic qualities in a lasting way. A person's true worth is not measured by external recognition, but by how they perceive and define themselves. The opinions and praise of others only have power when we allow them to influence our minds. Stoicism emphasizes that genuine self-respect begins within, from the ability to define our own value through reason, virtue, and personal conduct, rather than through social feedback or external approval. When we cultivate inner self-respect, we realize that peace and happiness do not depend on others, but lie within our own control. Stoicism teaches that every action, decision, and emotion should be guided by our core values and personal virtues. When our inner world is steady, external forces, whether pressure, competition, or criticism, lose their weight. We learn to move through life's storms with calmness, clarity, and determination, while developing emotional intelligence and lasting self-mastery. This is the foundation for living proactively, staying steadfast, and achieving enduring inner peace. Recognizing and appreciating the cycle of life is also an important principle. The world around us moves in constant rhythms, from the changing seasons and weather to the birth and passing of all things in existence. Stoicism reminds us that this natural cycle also applies to human life. Every beginning is tied to an ending, and every ending opens the door to a new opportunity. When we understand this truth, we learn to cherish the present moment, accept loss, and let go of what no longer remains. Awareness of life's cycles helps us maintain a deeper appreciation for the value of each moment. Marcus Aurelius once said that change is natural and nothing lasts forever. When we understand this truth, we become less affected by loss or temporary setbacks. Instead, we can fully embrace the present experience, recognizing that every event holds its own meaning and contributes to the growth of our character and wisdom. This principle also offers an opportunity to cultivate acceptance and flexibility. When we realize that every ending leads to a new beginning, We learn to adapt to change, develop emotional intelligence, and strengthen our ability to handle adversity. Recognizing and appreciating life cycles helps us see that failure or loss is not the end, but an essential part of growth and self-improvement. Moreover, paying attention to the cycles of life helps us let go of attachment and cultivate optimism. When we view all events as part of a natural rhythm, feelings of helplessness or disappointment gradually give way to calmness and clarity. Stoicism teaches that aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life is the path to inner freedom and lasting peace. Awareness of life cycles also helps us see that every event, whether big or small, carries its own meaning and purpose. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that change is natural and nothing lasts forever. When we accept this truth, we feel less loss or emptiness. Instead, we gain the ability to enjoy each experience, appreciate every present moment, and draw wisdom from every event. This practice helps us build character, nurture understanding, and strengthen Stoic virtues in everyday life. The cycle of life also serves as a reminder that every ending leads to a new beginning, an opportunity for growth and renewal. When we understand that failure or loss is not the end, but a natural part of life's process, we learn to become more flexible, insightful, and adaptable in any situation. This awareness helps us face challenges with calmness, while turning every circumstance into a chance to develop emotional intelligence, strengthen inner resilience, and cultivate lasting character, all while letting go of unnecessary attachment and stress. The sixth principle is turning hardship into an opportunity for growth. Every challenge in life carries hidden value, and Stoicism reminds us that difficulties are not barriers, but opportunities to build character. Instead of complaining or looking for excuses, we can view adversity as a chance to strengthen our wisdom and inner resilience. Every obstacle holds a valuable lesson if we know how to recognize it. Seneca once compared hardship to physical training. It may not be pleasant, but it makes us stronger. When facing adversity, whether it's work pressure, family conflicts, or personal failures, a positive attitude and wise perspective can transform difficult moments into experiences of growth rather than sources of emotional burden. Hardship is also a test of patience and emotional intelligence. When challenges arise, it's easy to feel confused, angry, or discouraged. However, Stoicism teaches that staying calm and analyzing the situation helps us uncover hidden value and opportunities for growth. Every difficulty becomes a chance to practice composure, strengthen emotional control, and reinforce inner virtues. This principle also opens the door to flexible and insightful thinking in any situation. When we see hardship as an essential part of the growth journey, risks and failures no longer seem frightening. Instead, they become sources of learning that help us refine our strategies, develop critical thinking, and strengthen self-mastery. The ability to transform adversity into opportunity is the true mark of Stoic wisdom and inner strength. Hardship is an inevitable part of life, and how we perceive it determines our capacity for growth and self-development. Stoicism emphasizes that challenges are not enemies, but tools for strengthening the mind, intellect, and character. When facing adversity, our attitude, whether we choose acceptance or reaction, decides how deeply those challenges affect our inner peace and our ability to respond effectively. Every obstacle carries profound lessons if we know how to recognize them. Seneca once compared difficulties to physical training. They are not pleasant, but they make us stronger, more resilient, and wiser. When facing pressure, failure, or unexpected situations, viewing them as opportunities to learn and strengthen our inner resilience helps us enhance adaptability, emotional intelligence, and Stoic character. Learning to turn hardship into opportunity helps build a strong foundation of character. Each time we overcome a challenge, we take another step toward developing virtue, emotional intelligence, and self-mastery. Stoicism emphasizes that only when we accept difficulties and uncover the hidden value within them can we truly grow, stand firm, and remain peaceful amid life's storms. The final principle is nurturing inner wealth. In a world full of material temptations and displays of success, Stoicism reminds us that true happiness does not come from wealth or power, but from inner fulfillment and richness of the soul. When we learn to appreciate our inner values, wisdom, virtue, experiences, and memories, we cultivate self-mastery, calmness, and independence from external influences. The concept of inner wealth helps us understand that happiness does not depend on possessions, but on perspective and attitude toward life. Seneca emphasized that the truly poor person is the one who constantly craves more, while the one who is content with what they have is genuinely rich. This does not deny the value of success or material things, but rather places them in their proper role, as tools, not ultimate goals. This principle also encourages us to focus on the meaningful experiences in life, learning, connecting, creating memories, and developing character. When the soul is rich, failures or losses become easier to bear, because they cannot take away our inner worth. Stoicism teaches that inner strength and spiritual wealth are enduring treasures that no material possession can replace. Moreover, nurturing inner wealth helps reduce attachment, release social pressure, and let go of unnecessary expectations. When people are content with themselves and value what truly matters, they gain the ability to live proactively and wisely, maintaining inner peace and dignity regardless of external circumstances. Ultimately, inner wealth is the foundation for complete personal growth. When our inner world is steady and grounded in wisdom and virtue, we are no longer controlled by material temptations or social comparisons. This is the path Stoicism reveals. A way to live a meaningful, fulfilling, and peaceful life where happiness is nurtured from within rather than dependent on the outside world. After exploring the 7 Stoic principles, it becomes clear that the art of letting go and not worrying too much is not about avoiding or being indifferent to life. It's about mastering the mind and living with self-control and inner peace. Each principle, from focusing on what you can control, living fully in the present, accepting change, cultivating inner self-respect, recognizing life's cycles, turning hardship into opportunity, to nurturing inner wealth, guides us toward a lighter, more balanced life, less influenced by external forces and richer in inner values. These lessons are not just ancient philosophical theories, they are practical tools for modern life. When you understand that true control lies in how you respond, that the present moment is the only one you truly have, and that every challenge or change is an opportunity for growth, you begin to experience serenity, freedom, and inner happiness. Stoicism helps us break free from invisible constraints and unnecessary pressures, allowing us to direct our energy toward what truly matters. Moreover, nurturing inner wealth and respecting the natural cycles of life keep you from being swept away by external changes, social expectations, or temporary setbacks. When your inner world is steady, every challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen virtue, emotional intelligence, and self-mastery. This is the foundation for living fully, staying steadfast, and achieving lasting happiness. If you found these principles helpful, please give this video a like to support it and share it with those who want to learn how to live with more calm and ease. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss upcoming Stoic insights that will help you strengthen your mind, face challenges, and grow in character every day.